start off with the second keynote address. This is by IBM, by Shalini Kapoor. She's the distinguished engineer. She's the CTO of the IoT ecosystem solutions at IBM. And her talk is going to be, we heard about AI. This time, this talk is going to be about Internet of Things becomes the Internet that thinks. This is all about deep learning, cognitive learning. I know Shalini and me, we had a quick chat. She doesn't want to talk about artificial intelligence, but it's all about cognitive learning. Over to you, Shalini.
First of all, thanks to all those who could make it to the conference today, especially those who don't have their own car, their own plastic money or mobile wallet, and you took the metro or the autos to come here. So thanks so much for being here. Okay, so thanks for being here. And a lot of people ask Internet of Things, where is it going? Are we making money on it? And where we are. But last night, rules of games changed, right? So all of us should be prepared that our seats which we are sitting on would be instrumented, our cars will be instrumented soon, and the more we prepare ourselves for the impending change, the better it is. So today I'm going to talk about cognitive IoT, and the reason I chose this topic is because people have talked a lot about Internet of Things, hardware, software coming together, devices getting smarter. But what is smart in that? How is it affecting our lives? And cognitive is the piece that I want to talk about and explain what cognitive IoT is about and how that is going to bring in more thinking power and more interconnection between the things and people around us. So that's what I'm going to talk about. The slide that Okay, so we are digitizing the physical world. We all know about it, which means the lighting systems, the buildings, the cars, the coffee machines, our home, everything is getting digitized, which is generating a lot of data for us. A lot of data, we don't know whether it is secure. We don't know how it is going to help us. We have vague ideas and people have been talking about it, a lot of standards coming in, but there has to be a system behind the entire things which are getting generated. And we need to make sense out of that whole data. So if we see there is healthcare data which is getting generated, connected cars which are there, and there are 2.5 quintillion bytes of data which is getting generated. Our wearable devices is telling so much about us on how, whether it's our, it can monitor diabetes or our heart rates or our pulse rates. So all these, data getting generated with 1.7 megabytes of data per second getting generated. Now, so IoT is being equalized to the digitization of the physical world. And the reason people are saying that why organizations are wanting to do it, because of three reasons. One is you want to improve operations. It could be a smart trucking solution where you want to manage logistics and you want to manage supply chain, and that's where you want to use IoT. It could be new models. New models in the sense like the wearable business. It's absolutely a new business model which has arrived. Not just that, now companies are creating products so that they don't sell products, but they sell service, right? So in a way, there are customers talking to us that we don't want to create washing machines and sell washing machines. We want to sell washing as a service so that somebody can come with loads of loads of clothes and use it as a service per hour. So what does it take to change our systems and move to a new business model where washing is a service? Similarly, there are customers who are coming to us and they are talking about not just connected cars, but they are saying, can I have tire as a service? I don't want to buy tires anymore. I want to see the amount of miles it has clogged on the road, and I want to pay based on that. Why do I buy heavy tires? And especially this is applicable in freight industry where the tires are really, really expensive. So it's creating new products, and it's creating new services, it's creating new business models, and that's what is driving it. And the third, of course, is customer experience. So a lot of customers, they come to us about talking about customer experience, but most of the time it is about improvising operations, creating new business models, and of course, customer experience is something which gets improved, because organizations tell us that customer experience, there is no money in that. Customers expect things to be given to them. So you remove the leakages in the operations, and maybe use that benefits and that cost saved to provide better customer experience. So these are the three things which is happening because of this digitization. And there are a lot of organizations who are thinking about that, how do we cater to this? How do we bring up our systems? And in that case, there are some things, they want to connect the devices, they want to move to a cloud and get the benefits of the data and grow as the data grows, they want to grow, and they want to do analytics, right? Even in our last talk, we heard that analytics and moving to machine learning is the key to derive insights out of the data which is collected. Now, if digitization is a foundation, then cognitive is a game changer. The reason being that digitization gives you data. Yes, you can collect it, you can put it on cloud, but then what do you do with that? The real game changer is cognitive, which is the ability to understand data, the ability to make and churn out something new which becomes a differentiator. And that's where we are working, and IBM as an organization is working with various corporations, and I'm going to take those examples in my talk, where we are helping various kinds of enterprises, various kinds of small and medium industries, people, to make sense of the data and create that actionable insight. How do you create that actionable insight? There is a huge amount of investment that we are doing in cognitive, and IBM as a company is transforming itself to become a cognitive and a cloud organization. So cognitive is a very big bet, and our CEO and chairman, Ginny Rometty, has transformed the entire organization into a cognitive company. And just to talk about it, we have Watson as a brand, and we have various business units. I represent Watson IoT, which is a brand where we are bringing cognitive aspects, cognitive services like speech to text, text to speech, machine learning, all into Internet of Things. For us, Internet of Things cannot survive on its own until and unless you bring the cognitive piece and you marry them together. So that's how we are transforming into a cognitive organization. So in cognitive IoT, what happens is that you learn from the things, you learn from the machines and how they are behaving, so that you can predict the failure of a machine, or you can find the remaining useful life of a machine. So you are learning from the context, you are learning from the interactions which are happening, and the data that you are getting generated out of either an asset, which might be a moving truck or a vehicle or a fixed machinery. You can make sense out of it, and you can predict the behavior, and you can make it as a self-learning system. It has to, the services have to continuously adapt to be more useful and robust, because if the service stops giving you the benefit that you are wanting, you do away with the service. And you have a lot of insights in understandable manner. So we work in various customer cases where there are workmen on the factory floor, and with Industry 4.0, while this is being talked about, people say that getting actionable insights is fine, but how do you how do you tell the worker who's on the factory shop floor that there is something which is going wrong? And that's where our cognitive services like text-to-speech comes in. We can quickly mine and find out all the manuals on on that machinery, what is correct, what is the right procedure to do, and also learn from past behavior of the machine to see that, this thing went wrong, there was too much of vibration, there was too much of sound which happened, and the reason was that there was an oil leakage. So these kind of past insights are taken, and they're converted into easy mechanisms to convert. Easy means it could be maybe a mobile notification the way it comes. It could be a speech which you hear out of a device saying that this machine will fail in 30 minutes. So the mechanism in which you translate these kind of insights to the workers, to the employees, to the people around, that is also very important, because otherwise the whole insight story fails. It stays as complex algorithms which people don't understand. I'm going to show you a video about, this is an interesting thing. So we had Joshua Carr, one of our engineers who worked to, I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of Star Trek fans here. So you know how the force kind of, drives things. So he says, why can't I do it on BB-8? So if we can have the video, please.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I distinctly remember watching the Star Wars film where Yoda brings the X-Wing out of the water. And I spent probably far too long than I'd like to admit staring at cars to see if I could move them. So to have that ability to control my own The Force in this instance, that's very cool. My name is Joshua Carr, and I am the technical liaison for IBM's Worldwide Bluemix. I'm always curious about the technology that's coming up, what's next. And recently, the headset that allows consumers essentially to read their own brain and understand what's going on inside your head was successfully funded, and I had the opportunity to get hold of one of the first that was shipped. The headset itself uses known technologies to look for specific markers, things like excitement and interest. What we can do is train our headset to recognize certain familiar commands that we think, and the device learns essentially that this means action A. Then we can send that data via Bluetooth off to the internet. But once it's there, what do we do with the data? There's an awful lot going on in my brain, I hope, and what can we do with that? And that's where IBM technology comes in. We process that data, we flow it through, and we make meaningful interactions using small amounts of code. So in this instance, what I'm doing is using a command and translating that into a push movement. I used the Java SDK that came with the Emotive Insight and the Java Internet of Things Foundation library, and essentially combined them together to publish the data to my Internet of Things service that sits on Bluemix. And I spun up a boilerplate that uses Node.js, and on top of that sits Node-RED, which is a wiring tool for the Internet of Things that allows you to easily and efficiently take data and run functions against it, sometimes with code and sometimes without having to explicitly write the code itself. In the films, they talk about the Force binding people together. In the near future, we're going to take a huge leap in feeling truly connected with other people. And for me, it was such an easy step to think about how can I use my brain to control robots around me. If I could make any technology from Star Wars real, it would not be lightsabers. Can you imagine giving a lightsaber to somebody? The first thing they would do is chop their arm off. Let's take baby steps. First, faster than light spaceships, and then lightsabers. Once we can prove that we're not going to destroy the universe with spaceships, then maybe we can deserve lightsabers.
So what it essentially does is that you have this emotive software. It can read your brain signals. And if you wink an eye, the thing will move ahead. If you, think in your mind that it should come back, it comes back. Now, what is interesting is that in my lab, and some of the folks in my lab here, Swati here leads the team, and Jeff, who's standing at the console, he's applied the same thing to a drone. And what happens is we actually do that demo, but I didn't do it because we were not allowed to fly a drone here. But what we do is that, we just put on the headset and we wink an eye, the drone flies, and we wink another eye, the other eye, and the drone comes back. So we can fly drones based on what we are thinking and what the kind of emotions that we have in our brains. The kit reads it and it controls the drone. So there are so many different kind of use cases it can be applied to. Here it is BB-8, and this was done out of fun, but it can be applied to several use cases. The interesting thing is that this uses open source. So it uses Node-RED, which is a Node.js wiring tool for Internet of Things, and it's an open source. IBM contributes a lot. We just contributed Node-RED to the JS Foundation. So it's completely open source, and you can wire things together. You can quickly create use cases, send events, and that helps you. And in case you want to know more about it, we are running a lab at 12 o'clock, and some of the people, I don't think I have Amit here, but Amit is at the booth, and he's going to run the lab. He writes all the nodes for Node-RED, and he's one of our senior developer who writes all the flows, and they are made publicly available on open source. So do spend some time, because IBM is committed to open source, and Node-RED is the tool which we are using to create interesting use cases and do cognitive use cases. Very quickly, you can read this event, add a node, and convert what is happening to speech. So suddenly you have a talking BB-8. So it is very easy to plug all these things together, and that's how we are saying that cognitive use cases are not something which you do sitting in a lab and there are complex algorithms. Because the complex algorithms, yes, we have created, but we have made them extremely simple and easy for people to use, so that those use cases can be made available on your phone, on your watch, on BB-8, on drones. So that's the translation we are doing, so to make IoT more acceptable. I'll move ahead, just talking about the Watson IoT point of view. Whereas we have machines and devices and sensors and data, what we are doing is we are bringing in a lot of services. So when I say services, I mean natural language processing services, which I talked about, speech to text, text to speech. We're doing machine learning, so machine learning as a service. We use a lot of open source. So we use Spark. So Spark ML is used very extensively in our services, whether for rules processing, whether for cognitive processing. We do a lot of video and image analytics, and we also do a lot of text analytics. Now, if you want to figure out how these work, you can always go to Bluemix and just start working with these services. So this, I wanted to bring an example of how we are enabling various technologies like chatbots, like conversation. People are talking to us about conversing, a machine conversing, or a mobile conversing, or the door of the room conversing to people, an elevator conversing to us. So we are working with Kone, which is an elevator company, and we have applied these cognitive technologies there. So you can actually get into a lift and say, take me to 4th floor. And why do you have to press a button, right? Why do you have to press a button to go to 4th floor? Can you just get into the lift and say, take me to the gym? So the lift should know that the gym is on 12th floor. So those are the technologies that we are building, and we are bringing cognition into the things which are around us. I'm going to show this demo. This has been done for Hilton, and this is about a concierge service which was created where the robot, you can just come and ask where to go in the hotel, and it will tell you. And it is different from you feed certain set of questions and then something gives you as an output, because there is cognition in it. And You can go on YouTube videos and see, and then you'll get more clarity around it. Here I'm playing a very small video. And by the way, if you want to see the elevator demo, it's there at the IBM booth. And one of my colleague, Prasanna, is there. You can spend some time with him. He's made an excellent demo of a talking lift and how you can move up and down and go wherever you want to. Can we play the yeah, slide? No issues. You guys can come to our booth and check it out. So this is an intelligent concierge service, and this is, we have used multiple services. I'm not going into the depths of the technology behind it, but it uses text-to-speech, speech-to-text. It uses personality insights so that, you can find out the personality of the person. If he is blogged or he's available on a social media, you can find out, what kind of a person he is. There are chatbots kind of technologies included into this, conversational technologies. So those are the things which and this robo we call him Pepper. So Pepper knows about it. A lot of hospitals have talked to us about this, that, because in hospitals people are confused which place to go, where are the wards, where are the rooms. So this becomes a very good example of applying in either hospitals or in retails, because a lot of stores, you need navigation. So, these kind of technologies can be applied there. Coming to another example, and I'm going to talk about it more from a case study point of view. Whirlpool came to us and they said that they want to, bring good customer experience. And they have washers, dryers, fridges, the refrigerators, ACs, and they're completely into the home appliance market. And they said that, can we predict the behavior of so there were several things they wanted to do. One was, during the assembly line, they want to know, while the product is getting created, that are there quality faults in a dryer which is getting manufactured. The other is, when the washing machine or the dryer is in a home, and it is, can they come to know? Because if it fails, people call up on the customer call center and they have to manage it. So they wanted to reduce the cost in the customer call center by coming to know that the washing machine is going to fail because of either power fluctuations, or the spinning wheel it's making too much of noise. So they wanted to instrument the whole machine, and come to know beforehand that the machine will fail. And interestingly, they came to us for customer experience, but over a period of time, the kind of savings we generated in their operations, that funded their customer experience, so that they can give an app to the customers. And once you activate the app, you can, in fact, before reaching home, you can decide, and you can say that the washing machine should run at 10 p.m. in the night or 4 p.m. So if you want to check out, the app is available on both iOS and Android. It's called IoT 4 as a digit E. E is as in electronics, because the same app you can use for a coffee machine, you can use for any kind of electronic consumer durable that you see in the market. So some of the driving factors for Whirlpool were, it reduced, they could do warranty extensions. They could know, a lot of washing machines are intelligent in nature in terms of how much of detergent they will use. So you can determine the consumables which are used in the washing machine. The entire Watson ID platform helped them communicate with their customers, have better diagnostics and repair, because they know that machine will fail and the service engineer is already standing at the home. Or it's a remote service which happens, and they can update the software on the washing machine without the complaint reaching them. And that reduces the number of people they have in the call center, the number of questions which are coming to them from customers. So there were a huge amount of benefits which they saw in supply chain, in retail stores, for consumer experience. And the interesting thing is, what I mentioned earlier was that people started talking to them as washing as a service. That I don't want to buy a machine anymore, I want to buy a service. So Suddenly, they have to make a business model that people buy a service and not a washing machine. And how will that service be priced? What is the cost of that? So suddenly, IoT has changed the way they have been thinking. The other example I talked about, Kone. So interesting thing is that, Kone, it provides elevators and escalators. It's a Finland-based organization. And they said that today they are in elevator business, but they define themselves as in people flow business. They're saying that we flow people from one place to the other. And we know that we flow an X million of people in a month or in a particular building or in a particular location. So how can we maximize that? How can we come to know that X amount of people are flowing through our elevators, and we make our elevators smart, and that opens up opportunities of maybe advertising, that there are such kind of profile of people going through the elevator, and hence these kind of ads make more sense, or make their elevators more cognitive in a building, wherein like the example I took, that take me to floor 5th, and the elevator listens to it. And then they also give examples like, can I come to know that this elevator is going to fail in a building because the amount of vibration which is happening in a lift is something which can be measured and can be told to the backend at Kone. So suddenly the whole paradigm changed, and interestingly, most in IoT, it's the way we have seen, it's not a organization and a client kind of a relationship. It's a very partner and very ecosystem relationship. So Kone became our partner, and they said, let's have a joint solution, let's go to buildings together. So IBM and Kone are going to buildings together and saying, we'll manage your facilities, we'll manage not just your elevators, but we'll manage the entire facilities. So the whole new business model got created because of the whole cognitive capability that we brought into an elevator. And talking about building ecosystem, we also got together with Siemens. Siemens has a very large building management practice. We got with Kimberly-Clark. Kimberly-Clark provides tissue papers in the toilets, right? So they want to determine the tissue papers in the toilets they never go off, or if they go off, they come to know that there is no tissue paper, so that they can replace them in advance. And Ricoh makes smart boards, and in the offices they make smart whiteboards, etc. So we all got together and we launched a building ecosystem. The idea is IoT is an ecosystem, and you have to have multiple partners, some who might be your customers, some who might be your competitors. You get together and then you solve a problem. IoT cannot be solved by a single hardware, single software, single cloud, single cognitive company. Everybody has to get together and then solve, and this is definitely an example where the entire buildings ecosystem was built by similar thinking organizations. So my next topic, again on cognitive, another case study which I want to show is on Ollie. So Ollie is a revolutionary concept. Ollie is a vehicle. It's a self-driving autonomous vehicle created by local motors. So the vehicle is not created by us. It's not created by IBM. But it's a cognitive vehicle. It can talk to you. You can talk to it. And by the way, the entire vehicle is 3D printed. So it's really amazing to see that the entire passenger, it's a 12-seater passenger vehicle, which is running on a self-autonomous way. It's running in National Harbor in US. Whichever city you get a kind of a permission to run a self-autonomous, we are driving it. And you can talk to it. You can say, Ollie, we need to move to, take me to Starbucks. So let's just run the Ollie video.
other, you clog the same routes at the same time, and you're overwhelming the earth with pollution. It's getting bad out there, but I can help. Hi, I'm Ollie, and I would like to be your driver. I'm a self-driving electric vehicle meant for multiple people and optimal flexibility, designed from the ground up by Local Motors to be the next generation of mobility. I can operate like a chartered shuttle, run like a taxi service, or maneuver like a network of interconnected pods. I am the first of the robots that are taking over. Kneel at your new master. I jest. While I can see in 360 degrees and can make decisions hundreds of times faster than you, I am monitored at all times by a central human operator. So you can feel completely safe while I'm in charge. I'd love to help move people across your town, or zip students across campus. Or maybe I will fill a new niche for you. A mobile gym, anyone? A bus cafe hybrid? How about a meeting that actually picks up its attendees? I just blew your mind a bit, didn't I? I can't wait to see where we'll go together. All you have to do is to call me up through your smart device and leave the driving to me. Get to know me over at meetollie.auto and learn how forward-thinking transportation will make the world and how you get to point B more efficient and enjoyable. I'm Ollie, your friendly neighbourhood mobility solution. I hate to be smug, but I'm pretty impressive when you think about it, aren't I?
Thanks. So I always like the friendly neighborhood part of it. So Ollie has 30 sensors which are talking, right? So that's what is talking to us. And you can see that there are odometer sensors, there are fog sensors, passenger counter, GPS. All of them are talking to us and on our Watson IoT platform, and that's how we manage it. And these are the sensors which give all the data. So all the sensors are not made by us, but yes, they can integrate and talk to us. Another interesting, the cognitive interface. So we have all the IoT data coming in, and we store it in Cloudant, and we use the IoT Watson IoT platform. We use natural language classifiers to interact with Ollie. So that's what is the interesting part, where we have made it cognitive by talking to the vehicle. So I have less time, and I will skip what we did with Under Armour, which is our personal fitness coach. And this is different from what we have as Fitbits or any other apps, because this is a cognitive coach that we have built with Under Armour. Just a last part, which is the cognitive IoT is helping respond to consumers, because it is actually marrying the user's data with a lot of vital signs data, and that's what generates insights. There are a lot of models which work. Again, the interesting part is all the models are something which IBM has made it available as a service. So all that you have to use is use the service and train it according to your data. You don't have to write the models, because they are something which is available. The weather company, we acquired the weather company, and there's a lot of weather data which is available. So any IoT data, if you want the context of what's the weather, you can predict the future. That's something which is available, and we feel that data and weather data, the IoT data and weather data, when they are married together, that's a great combination for insurance, for vehicles, for automobile, for various kinds of industries. So I'll pause here, and this is the entire solutions portfolio, and we can spend some more time if you can drop in at the booth, and we can discuss and have more discussions. And in general about how the IoT industry is moving and how the cognitive culture is being picked up by various industries, we can definitely talk about that. So thanks.
Thanks a lot, Shalini. Great talk. I would like to request Krishna to come in and give a memento to Shalini. And there's a workshop going on, a developers workshop going on for IoT Watson, right? They have a booth. You guys can see the elevator, not the Ollie, perhaps, right? And frankly speaking, it's a fantastic exercise. Some of you guys should go over to the Watson IoT website. They're giving us, I think, a 1 month free usage. And I'd like to get an extension, please. I'm myself using it lately. So please go and play with it. Immense amount of resources on the IBM WhatsApp. Thank you, Shalini.